Hi, Glen Phillips here with Lake Homes Realty and lakehomes.com. Hey, today I want to talk to you about 4 costly mistakes often made by lake home buyers because I want you to avoid them. So let's dig right in. When you're buying that dream lake home, I know it's exciting and you're in a hurry and you want to get a deal done and get right to it, but lack of due diligence. And there's actually several points to this one that I want to bring up. And these are things where I've seen buyers and sellers come to conflict well after the transaction happens because something comes up after the deal, people get their feelings hurt, and they sue. They literally sue. So I don't want that to happen to you when you're buying this lake home. So one of them is get a home inspection. I mean, you're already in an environment that's got some interesting terrain enough, you've got water around. Plus, just homes have issues as they age or during construction. You know, if you spend, only $300 or $400, you get a home inspection, you solve a $10,000 problem. Think of it as insurance in some sense about the quality of your purchase, just like you'd take a used car and have a mechanic take a look at it. Hey, you often even get a guide of how to take care of your home once you move in. Get a survey over and over, particularly in rural environments where the homes have been there a while. People kind of can drift on what they use, like one neighbor let his neighbor kind of pull in around the house and then it was just presumed that was a driveway to a home when actually it had nothing to do with it. Or a lot, you think you're buying more property than you are and then somebody buys the lot adjacent to you and starts building on property you thought was yours. A survey solves that question. You don't necessarily even have to have a survey done. They're often available, but go get one and look at it and walk that property. Don't be surprised. Get a geologic report. We're in a water terrain environment, things change. You seem like, well, that seems like an excessive thing. It should be fine. I'm guessing it's okay. But we've seen properties where these things have adjusted, and you want to know that where you're buying is stable and solid, particularly if you see anything that suggests any kind of crack or the home inspection suggests there's something unusual about foundation. Get an expert. Take a look at it because it's a lot cheaper when you're doing a transaction than 2 years later when it's costly and it's all on your dime. Another one that is vitally important because of what's happening in this country in wire and title fraud. Be sure to buy title insurance. What is title insurance? Title insurance is a guarantee that the property you're purchasing was from somebody who was legally entitled to sell it to you. There are a lot of scams, particularly not just in lake, but all types of property and with lots and other things where people are sneaking in and selling a property that's really not theirs, and people are skipping getting the title insurance that would assure that the property was really sellable from one to the other. You buy title insurance and somebody contends that you bought it from somebody who didn't have the right to sell it. Title insurance financially protects you against that. And it used to not be a common thing, but due to fraud and other issues become much more common. So be sure the title insurance not only guarantees that you'll get taken care of financially, it does a research that helps assure you're buying it from somebody who can really sell it to you. And the next thing about under due diligence is be sure to listen about HOA and Homeowners Association, Property Owners Association. That one's real important because those regulations can change about what you can do on the property, what the neighbors are expecting, is rental of those properties available. Oh, and I do have one more under due diligence, and that is lake regulations. There's a body that measures the lake, that has rules about operation of the lake, what kind of boats you can use, what can you do to the shoreline. Can you build a dock or a pier? If it has one, can you replace it with a comparable one? Or once you tear it down, you can't put one back? Know what these regulations are so you don't get surprised. All right, so what's another costly mistake? All right, forgetting to consider maintenance, not just to the home, but what about the shoreline if you're waterfront? Not all the homes are on the water, but if they are, there's additional maintenance that may have to take place, not just to a dock or pier, but the shoreline itself, and you may be on the hook for that. Another big important expense that you want to avoid is failing to research the insurance cost. Is there flood insurance that you're going to need to purchase depending on where your home is relative to the lake? And you know what? There may not have been a flood there in 100 years, but they call them 100-year floods for a reason, and they do occur. Talk to somebody about getting the appropriate insurance and understand that's a cost that's going to be different than if you're just buying in the suburbs or on a big city. And last is it can be very valuable to save a lot of costs by using a real estate agent that is a lake expert. They're going to understand a lot of these questions to ask, that somebody who just happens to, oh, I got a lake listing, I'm excited, or I'd love to show you a lake home. And they may be great at selling properties, but they may not be great at saving money and avoiding risk when buying a lake or selling a lake home. So get somebody who knows what they're doing, not just they claim it, but you can talk to them about all these nuances, and they'll guide you through that process to help you not only get a great deal, whether you're buying or selling, but also to avoid risk. So I hope these tips have been helpful. Be sure and visit us at lakehomes.com, where we have tens of thousands of properties for sale right now. Be sure to follow these tips to be sure that you don't make an expensive mistake, because look, there's still great deals to be had. Just avoid some risk. That'll make your experience of your dream home even dreamier. Thank you. Hope this was helpful. Have a great day. For more information, be sure to check out lakehomes.com.